Hello dear students, welcome to the next session of Principles of Inheritance and then the Variation. So the next concept we are going to discuss is the Punnett square. So what do you mean by Punnett square and who discovered that Punnett square means? See, it was developed by a British genetist. His name is Punnett C. Reginald or Reginald C. Punnett. So this is what the name of the genetist who discovered or who developed the Punnett square for the genetic crosses. So what exactly it is means? What is the use of such a square in the genetics? See, this square is very helpful in order to understand the production of the gametes, so which are haploid in nature, from the parents who are diploid in nature, and the formation of zygotes which are also diploid in nature. So by this diagrammatic representation in the form of square, so we will get to know what is that, or we can understand the production of the gametes by the parents and the formation of zygotes by the combination of such gametes, and F1 and F2 offsprings are the generations of plants that can be understood by this diagram. That is what the use of Punnett square in the genetic studies. So then how can you define the Punnett square then? So you have got who developed that Punnett square and what is the use of the Punnett square. How can you define that square means? Punnett square means the Punnett square is nothing but a graphical representation. It is a graphical representation. Representation of what means? Nothing but it is a graphical representation that helps to calculate the probability of all possible genotypes of the offsprings in a genetic cross. So when two plants of different traits or the contrasting traits are crossed, what sort of offsprings will be produced? So you will get to know only after the production of that plant. But using this graphical representation, you can calculate what are the possibilities of the different type of genotypes which will be produced in a cross. What will be the genotype or the phenotype of the F1 individual or the F2 individuals in a cross? That can be calculated, or that probability can be calculated by using the graphical representation, and that representation is only called as a Punnett square. So Punnett square is a graphical representation that helps to calculate the probability, means what are all the possibilities are there, probability of all possible genotypes in a genetic cross. So how to write the gametes in a Punnett square means? So how to represent that possibilities in a graphical representation manner in the form of Punnett square means? See, the possible gametes which are used for the genetic cross will be written on two sides. How means? The male gametes will be written in horizontal rows and the female gametes are written in vertical columns. Say for example, so this is what a square is. The male gametes, for example, capital T and then the capital T, I will consider it as a male parent. So the possible gametes produced are of the same type, that is capital T and capital T. I will write here. That is what is that? The horizontal row. And the female gametes, the plant which is considered as a female parent and gametes produced by it, that I will write here. I will consider the dwarf plant as a female one. So the female gametes will be written in what is it? Vertical column. So this is what the vertical column and this is what the horizontal rows. So remember, this is very important for NEET examination, how to represent, okay, or how to write the gametes over the Punnett square. Then after writing the gametes, what are the possible combinations of them? Say for example, the T, capital T and small t, their combination give rise to the heterozygous tall plant. Then capital T and small t, that also give rise to heterozygous tall plant. Then capital T, small t, that also give rise to heterozygous tall plant. And then capital T and small t, that also give rise to heterozygous tall plant. So, by their combination or a cross between pure tall plant with the pure line of the dwarf plant, all its progeny is produced in F1 generation will be tall only. But in previous discussion, we got to know that in F1 generation only one character will get expressed, and that is called as dominant character, the dominant trait. So that is nothing but here tallness of the plant. But what is the genotype of that plant cannot be seen or cannot be understood by seeing that plant. It can be understood by this graphical representation. So what is the genotype of possible offspring here? Heterozygous dominant, heterozygous dominant, heterozygous dominant, heterozygous dominant. Remember, heterozygous means in a allelic pair, two dissimilar genes will be present. Two dissimilar alleles will be present which are coding for contrasting traits. So heterozygous, its genotype is heterozygous and its genotype is also heterozygous. So all the possible offsprings produced here are heterozygous in nature. Heterozygous or homozygous, if we consider that one means that is only the genotype of that particular individual. This is how, by using the Punnett square to graphically represent the all possible combinations of the genotypes, we will get to know what are the genotypes of the possible offsprings in a genetic cross. Is it clear, guys? Make a note of these points. Then let's understand the Punnett square with the help of monohybrid cross as an example. See, this is what the representation of a monohybrid cross by using the Punnett square. So in that monohybrid cross, we have considered the particular character or the one gene here, that is nothing but the gene which code for the height of the plant. And it has two particular traits, one code for tallness and one code for the dwarfness. So such pure lines of the tall and dwarf varieties are selected by the Mendel. And we know their genotype is homozygous tall and then the homozygous dwarf. So homozygous here means capital T, that represents the dominant, both dominant alleles are present in allelic pair. In dwarf plants, both recessive alleles are present as a pair. So when such individuals produces gametes, when such parental generation produces gametes, as they have similar or the identical alleles, they produces the gametes which will be of same type. So consider here the tall plant is considered as the female parent, and the gametes produced will always be represented by circling them. A circle will be drawn around the gametes always. If you circle any or representation of any genotype means that represent it as a gamete. Andre illi capital letters alli bardu adanna circle madidre that represent it as a gamete. Similarly here the small t and then the small t, and they are also the gametes produced by the male parent. Now, so in this cross, what are the possible combinations then? This capital T is having 50% chance to fertilize with this small t containing gamete, or 50% chance to fertilize with another gamete containing the another allele, that is small t only, recessive allele. So the possible combination will be capital T and small t when it crosses with this, fertilizes with this, and if the same particular gamete fertilizes with the other gamete means, so then it produces as capital T and small t. Similarly, the another gamete containing the dominant allele is also having a 50% chance to fertilize either with the first gamete produced by the male parent, or the gamete, another gamete produced by the male parent. So that it is also having the 50% chance to fertilize with either of the gamete. Means if you consider this as a pollen, the pollen, the gamete containing one of the allele is having the chance to fertilize with the gamete or allele present in any one of the egg. So, as a result of that fertilization, all F1 individuals are found to be, all F1 individuals are found to be tall only. All are found to be tall. So, in F1 generation, all the plants are found to be with tall. Capital T and small t, capital T and small t, capital T and small t, capital and small t are there. Means one dominant allele is there, means it expresses its own phenotype. So, all the offsprings of the F1 generation are tall in nature. When such heterozygous tall plants are allowed for selfing, then when they are allowed for selfing or the self-pollination, so the tall plants with the genotypes capital T and then the small t, that is heterozygous tall plants of F1 generation, when they are allowed for selfing or the self-pollination, then, so what are the possibilities of their offsprings? Let's see that now. What are the possibilities of their offsprings? So here the gametes produced, yes, one of the gamete will have capital T, that is dominant allele, and other one will receive recessive allele. Similarly, from the other parent, okay, one of the gamete will receive capital T and other one will receive small t, recessive allele. So let's circle them in order to denote them as a gametes. Now, so what are the possible combinations here when the F1 individuals are allowed for self pollination? Means their combinations, that is capital T, small t, one combination. This allele or this pollen or the gamete will have 50% chance to fertilize with any one of these two gametes. Consider if this one is considered as a egg, means this egg can be fertilized with either the pollen containing dominant allele or the pollen containing the recessive allele. So one of the male gamete, it can fertilize the female gamete containing either the recessive allele or the dominant allele. Similarly, one of the egg may get fertilized with the male gamete containing the dominant allele or the recessive allele. So that this is the one chance, that is the small t or recessive allele containing egg may get fertilized with the dominant allele containing pollen. And other chance is recessive allele containing egg may get fertilized with the recessive allele containing pollen only. So then the combination will be small t and small t. Similarly, dominant allele containing egg may get fertilized with the dominant allele containing pollen, then their combination will be capital T and capital T. Then, and what is the other 50% possibility? Means dominant allele containing egg may get fertilized with the recessive allele containing pollen, so that their possibility is capital T and then the small t. So by this representation here you can see that what are the possible types of genotypes can be produced in a genetic cross. So by this you will get to know what is that one. For the appearance, what happens in this F2 generation, these are the individuals of F2 generation. So in F2 generation, See, these three are tall in nature, and the other plant produced here, it is dwarf in nature. So if you take the ratio, phenotypic ratio, what will be their phenotype means? Phenotypic ratio is, out of 4 offsprings produced, 3 are found to be tall. 3 are found to be tall. That is, 3 are found to be tall and only 1 is found to be dwarf. So 3 are found to be tall, 1 is found to be dwarf. So what is the phenotypic ratio of monohybrid cross or the one gene inheritance means? It is 3:1. In that, 3 out of 4 are tall, 1 out of 4 is dwarf. Similarly, if you consider the genetic ratio or the genotypic ratio, then you can also write genotypic ratio, and the genotypic ratio is, see, among these three tall individuals, what is their genotype? So 1 is found to be homozygous tall. So 1 is found to be homozygous tall, and 2 are found to be heterozygous tall. 2 are found to be heterozygous tall, and 1 is found to be homozygous dwarf. So the genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. 1:2:1. Remember. So these ratios are very important for PU examination as well as the competitive examinations like CET and NEET. What is the phenotypic ratio of monohybrid cross? 3:1. What is the genotypic ratio of monohybrid cross? 1:2:1. Among that, the 1 is homozygous dominant and 2 are heterozygous dominant and 1 is homozygous recessive. Is it clear? So this is how we can write the Punnett square for any genetic cross, and here the example we have taken is monohybrid cross. Monohybrid cross considering the tall and then the dwarf pea plants. Is it clear, guys? So by seeing this Punnett square, you will easily notice that among the F2 generation population, or among the population of F2 generation, 3/4 are found to be tall and 1/4 are found to be dwarf, and that ratio is called as phenotypic ratio. Then genotypically 1/4 are found to be homozygous tall, 2/4 are found to be heterozygous tall, and 1/4 are found to be homozygous recessive. So their genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. 1:2:1. This is how, by the graphical representation of the possible combinations of gametes produced, and possible combinations of the genotypes in a genetic cross, we will get to know what is the phenotypic ratio of that particular genetic cross and what is the genotypic ratio of that particular genetic cross. Is it clear, guys? So this is how we can represent the genetic cross by using Punnett square. So in your PU examination, if a schematic representation of the monohybrid cross is asked for 5 marks, means you have to represent that cross in this way. Here you need to clearly mention, so where you are writing the gametes. So these are the gametes and these are the F1 generation, and so here again the selfing takes place, again the gametes are produced from the F1 parents, then the F2 generation, then phenotypic ratio, and lastly the genotypic ratio. So make a note of this diagrammatic representation now. See, so while studying the monohybrid cross conducted by the Mendel, and one of the reasons for his success is that he formulated the biological observations during this hybridization experiment into a mathematical expression, right? Or mathematical formula. Let's see how he formulated that biological phenomena or process into the mathematical form. See, here, what is the total number of progeny produced in this class in F2 generation? Total 4 are produced. Among 4, only 1 by 4 are found to be with capital T and capital T, that is homozygous tall, and 2 by 4 found to be heterozygous tall, and 1 by 4 are found to be 1 by 4 are found to be homozygous dwarf, right? See, one of the 4 progenies are found to be homozygous tall, and 2 of the 4 progenies are found to be heterozygous tall, and one of the 4 progenies are found to be homozygous dwarf. This can be condensable into a binomial expression. So it can be condensed into binomial expression. Means it can be mathematically condensed into binomial expression. That is how. See, let's consider what are the possibilities of formation of the gametes here. Out of 2, 1 will be dominant allele. Here, out of 2 gametes produced, 1 will be having a dominant allele. So let's write that out of 2, 1 will be capital T. And out of 2, 1 will be recessive allele. Out of 2, 1 will be a recessive allele. Whole square of them, capital T plus of small t whole square. So it's nothing but, so it is in the form of ax plus by whole square or a plus b whole square. You know the expansion of ax plus by whole square or a plus b whole square. That is equal to, for example, ax square plus 2ax into by plus by whole square. This is what the expanded form we get, right? Similarly, if we expand this 1 by 2 capital T plus 1 by 2 small t whole square, means you will get 1 by 2 capital T whole square or square plus 2 into 1 by 2 capital T into 1 by 2 small t plus 1 by 2 small t whole square. So if you simplify it, 1 by 2 t square. So instead of writing t square, see 1 by 2 whole square means it is 1 by 4. Instead of writing t square, I will write it as t into t. So capital T. Similarly, plus here 2 of t into of small t. So these two and these two get cancelled, so that 1 by 2 capital T into small t plus. So 1 by 2 small t whole square means here 1 by 2 whole square means 1 by 4. Instead of small t square, I will write it as small t into small t. So this is what the combination we got here, right? 1 by 4 small t, capital T, that is homozygous dominant. 1 by 2 are small capital T and small t, that is heterozygous condition, that is 2 by 4 means 2 ones are 2 twos are. 1 by 2 capital T, small t. Then 1 by 4th are small t and small t, right? So this one is mathematically condensed into which form? Ax plus by whole square form, that is half capital T and half small t whole square. So this is how Mendel mathematically condensed or formulated the biological observations into the binomial expression form. Is it clear, guys? So this is what regarding how to calculate the genotypic and phenotypic ratios in a genetic cross by using the Punnett square. Make a note of these points also now. See, Mendel didn't stop at F2 generation during a cross, but he continued the self-pollination of the F2 plants. So after the self-pollination of the F2 plants, he found that the dwarf plants in the F2 generation was continued to produce dwarf plants only even in F3 and then the F4 generations also. So when it continued to produce dwarf plants only in F3 and F4 generation, then he concluded that genotype of the dwarf plants is nothing but homozygous recessive, that is small t and small t, as there is no mixture of the alleles or the allelic pair, so only it continued to produce dwarf plants only. So the dwarf plant is homozygous recessive. Is it clear, guys? So this is what the observations made by Mendel during the monohybrid cross considering the plant height. Okay. So in tomorrow's class we are going to discuss regarding how to find out the genotype of an unknown plant by conducting a test called as a test cross. Is it clear, guys? Make a note of these points also. Hope you have understood today's class. Thank you.